just starting my G.I. Joe Classifieds collection. Is it too late? Or just the right time? On my last wrestling road trip a year ago, I had the pleasure of talking toys with a fellow G.I. Joe collector, John Williams. The Hawaiian Lion kept talking up these G.I. Joe classified figures, saying how the molds, the sculpting was so good and complementary to the classic figures. But I just kept thinking that if I'm gonna spend 20 to 25 bucks, might as well invest going on eBay and getting some more of the original O-ring action figures. During my yearly routine of maintenance on my G.I. Joe figures, mostly changing O-rings on those who needed it, I started noticing that not just the O-rings needed changing or replacing, but like Spirit's rifle, who literally broke just laying there. I started seeing other figures like Roadblock's legs just falling apart, or even Spirit, while changing his O-ring, his crotch literally just broke off and I barely touched it. So I needed to do something about it, and that's not just changing O-rings, it's literally just keeping my hands off these figures. That the plastic is just becoming brittle with time. It's been 40 years, man. Now, as a collector who also likes to pose and quote unquote play with his action figures, it's kind of messed up knowing that I can't handle these figures anymore. I need to put them behind glass, behind a little bubble or something, and just keep my hands off of them. So what am I gonna do? I want to play with them. I want to pose them. I want to do stop motion with them. I want to do toy photography with them. Well, the best thing to do, I think, now is start getting on that bandwagon and start collecting some of these G.I. Joe classifieds. I did, however, already own 2 classified G.I. Joe figures: Shipwreck, Hector, Ex Delgado, and Sergeant Slaughter. Yes, the wrestler, like myself. The main reason I didn't start collecting these G.I. Joe classified figures from the beginning is because they just didn't appeal to me. The look was all high-tech, and it's not something that I remember ever seeing in the cartoon or even playing with. Now, once they started reverting a little to the classic 80s look, that's when it started catching my eye. But to start a G.I. Joe classified collection now, 4 years after their initial release, is going to get very expensive. So my thought is, I'm going to start collecting my favorite characters. And a few little obscure ones, like Falcon isn't one of my favorites, but look at his face. I saw online everybody complaining about his face, and I agree, he looks ugly. And that's why I wanted him in my collection. Also, I had to get Storm Shadow and everyone's favorite schizophrenic, Zartan. In order not to spend too much money, I bought these 7 on eBay. Dusty, I paid about $15. Storm Shadow, I paid, I think it was $12. Zartan, I got him for nearly $20. Same thing with Gung Ho. But for Falcon, I got him for like $9. All in all, I spent maybe $100 because of shipping, but some of these were from the same seller, so I saved on shipping as well. All of them, although there were different sellers, sent them all in Ziploc bags, which made things a lot easier, especially with all the little weapons that they come with. And they come with a lot of weapons, and it's nice having all those weapons. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of them, but it's nice that the weapons that they were sculpted with, like General Hawk, in this classified form, they're actually removable, although his gold gun here is not gold here. So I'm just gonna take one of my gold markers and paint it up. I probably should have painted it silver first, because you see a lot of the black coming out. I'm not gonna finish it right now. First, I'm gonna talk about these figures. And yes, the update is pretty great. I love his little smirk here. I kind of wish he had that smirk, but he does look grizzled. And here's one thing that these guys don't do: fall apart. But unlike our favorite O-ring figures that we were able to piece back together, I do find some of these joints pretty stiff. and I don't want to accidentally snap them. See, that second joint right there we go. The knee seems pretty sturdy and I don't think it's gonna break on me. But Freedom, on the other hand, he already has some stress marks on his wing there. It doesn't move as nice as the other one. Yeah, these figures have sometimes a drawback, like his face.
I must find a way to help him.
But they're not gonna fall apart on you like these. These, if they fell apart, you could put them back together. You could find a way to fix them. If these fall apart, if they break on a certain joint, I think it's gonna be a lot harder to fix. Paying about $100, give or take, on all these 7 figures, I don't mind at all. Because I could have easily spent way more. Because they're going for over $20 at the store or even online. And this could have easily gone to almost $200. When I first received these figures, I thought they looked great together, except for maybe Gung Ho, who really towers over all of them. He looks like a giant. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're using the sculpting from that futuristic Gung Ho that they released 2 years ago, but this guy, he looks great with the colors, the look, everything, except for that height that makes him look like he's a giant. So I compared him to some of my wrestling figures. Now, next to my wrestling figures, he doesn't look bad at all. I was hoping that these figures would scale very nicely with my WWE figures, because then I could just have all these kinds of worlds collide. But unfortunately, it's just a little off. Especially when you got Sergeant Slaughter being about the same height as Hulk Hogan. Yet, Sergeant Slaughter's classified figure comes a little short to Hulk Hogan. But with them having ball joints at the head means I can really customize many figures from different toy lines into this, especially one of my favorite toy lines right now, the 2006 Jakks Pacific Rocky figure line. Meaning I gotta get that big boa. Taking a look at the size of the heads, it might not work. Ever since getting them, I think the one that I, played with the most was Spirit. Because, well, he's got a knife here. He's got a gun here. He's got another knife here. He's got another gun here. His backpack is removable. And of course, well, he comes with Freedom. And he's got accessories. Different pair of wings. One thing that he's lacking is the loincloth. But comparing him this way, he looks badass. He just needs that loincloth. Now, these are the only classified figures that I own, because during Christmas time, I went out to buy Christmas gifts for my twin nephews, and I started finding stuff at Ross. And at these prices, $5.99, how could I pass up Outback, Snake Eyes, Barbecue, Croc Master, for $6 too, Recondo, the Crimson Twins, and I could go on and on. I'm still going to Ross. Every once in a while, I'll find something, and I get it. Like the Python Patrol officer. And now with classifieds, Recondo, Scarlet, and Duke at Target, and everywhere you can find them. I'm going to go out on toy hunts. And I also saw that classified Retro Cobra Commander is in the pipelines. So that's another one I'm going to get. What other classified figures do you recommend I should get? Please comment, leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Hi, thank you for watching my video. If you would like to watch another video, you can click right here. Or, if you prefer, you can click right here. Goodbye.